Recorded Books and One Click Digital present Far From True, a Promise Falls novel by Linwood Barclay, narrated by Brian O'Neill, with Mark Zeisler as Cal Weaver. Chapter 1. They Ain't Seen Nothin' Yet. Chapter 2. They decided Derek was the one who should get into the trunk. Before heading off, the four of them, Derek Cutter included, thought it would be cool to smuggle someone in, not because they couldn't afford a fourth ticket. That wasn't the issue. They just felt the situation demanded it of them. It was the sort of thing you were supposed to do. After all, this was the last night they'd ever have the chance. Like so many other businesses in and around Promise Falls these days, the Constellation Drive-In Theater was packing it in. What with multiplexes, 3D, DVDs, movies you could download at home and watch within seconds, why go to a drive-in, except maybe to make out? And given how much smaller cars had gotten since the drive-in was first conceived, even that wasn't much of a reason to watch a movie under the stars. Still, even for people of Derek's generation, there was something nostalgic about a drive-in. He could remember his parents bringing him here for the first time when he was 8 or 9, and how excited he'd been. It was a triple bill, the movies becoming successively more mature. The first was one of the Toy Story flicks. Derek had brought along his Buzz Lightyear and Woody action figures, which was followed by some rom-com Matthew McConaughey thing, back when he was only doing crap, and then a Jason Bourne movie. Derek had barely managed to stay awake until the end of Toy Story. His parents had made a bed for him in the back seat so he could zonk out when they watched features 2 and 3. Derek longed for those times when his parents were still together. This night, the Constellation was showing one of those dumber-than-dumb Transformers movies, where alien robots inhabiting Earth had disguised themselves as cars, usually Chevrolets, thank you very much, product placement, and trucks. Morphing from car to robot involved a slew of special effects. Lots of things blew up. Buildings were destroyed. It was the kind of movie none of the girls they knew were interested in seeing, and even though the guys tried to make them understand the movie itself didn't matter, that this was an event, that this night at the drive-in was history, they'd failed to win them over. Even the guys knew this was a dumb movie. In fact, there had been agreement among them that the only way to see a movie like this, whether at a drive-in, at a regular theater, or at home, was drunk, which led to a decision that they would try to sneak not only a person into the drive-in, but some beer, too. Thing was, this was a milestone piled on top of a milestone. This was the last night for the Constellation, and it was the end of the academic year at Thackeray College, which Derek had been attending for 4 years and was now leaving. For what? He had no clue. He had no job prospects, other than maybe working for his dad again, cutting lawns, planting shrubs, trimming hedges. Had he gone to college for 4 years to run a leaf blower? Even his dad didn't want that for him. And yet, there were worse things than working alongside his father. For this one night, he wouldn't think about his job future or a couple of other things that had been weighing heavily on him. The first was the death of a friend, just about the most senseless thing ever. This guy, he comes to college, goes to class, writes essays, tries out for some school plays. He's just doing his thing like everybody else, and then one night campus security shoots him in the head while he's supposedly trying to rape somebody. Derek still hadn't been able to get his head around it. But then there was the other thing, even bigger. Derek was a father. He had a goddamn kid, a son named Matthew. The news hadn't come as a shock just to him. Even the mother was surprised, which sounded kind of weird, but it was a pretty weird, fucked-up story, and Derek still didn't know all the details. He'd known that she was pregnant, but had believed the baby died at birth. Turned out not to be that way. He'd talked to her, Marla was her name, a few times since finding out the baby was alive, Been over to visit her with his father in tow, and he was still kind.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?